Robin. Alien lives matter. To who? Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here. I notice if you might see the last name on the end of it, Sinisi, putting that on my name now as well. All right, people. It's going to be an interesting day today. The topic, I hope you read it, because we're going to go into the lies, and more lies, which I like to talk about because people believe them. So I want to let Tina introduce herself. Greetings, Tina.
Hello, Tommy. Good to see you in Hawaii, and hello to everyone else in our chat room watching, and hello to our usual people that will tune in as well. Lots going on in Europe this week. Hopefully, people might see UFOs because there's been a barrage of bombs being dropped and ballistic missiles in the Ukraine. They've moved geothermic weapons into the region, and they've also been threats of reprisals and retaliations with nuclear weapons. I think nobody wants to go down that route. Hello, John. Nice to see you. So I'm just sending prayers to all the people that have lost, all the families that have lost people over this crisis. My heart goes out to you all. But I'm going to hand it back to Tommy now to love and light and all people. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
All right, people. I use the phrase love and light. It's overused and over abused. If you have a concept of what it really means, it might be good, other than, it's just like saying hello, but giving them a little more feelings and emotions. Love and light have a definition of where it really comes from. And I know most people have no clue where that is, calling God. Somebody put in here about the aliens being good and having whatever you want to call it, but I don't support aliens in any way. I know the bad and what they do. I know what they have done already. So when people say the good aliens and the good aliens are going to help us, there is no such thing. All right? They wouldn't be coming to this planet if they were better off than us. You don't go into hell because you want to. All right? And the other thing is, people, and I know nobody talked about this ever because they're ignorant of the fact, aliens are incarnating into humans now. And that's why so many people believe they're incarnation, they're aliens, or they are aliens, or walk-ins, and every other word under the sun. I'm not talking about drones or anything like that. The government, our government, and Russia, China, they're playing weird games trying to recreate life and build it the way they want, which is really evil in a lot of ways, but they don't look at it that way. They want to make puppet beings that they can control and use for anything they want to use them for and not worry about paying them. So here's the thing, people. I'm going to get into the story of what's going on in the real world. I'm not a liar, and neither is Tina. Everything you hear on there is what I totally believe in. I put my life on the line. Tina is 100% accurate, whatever I heard her say. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but we can't. I mean, that's like an impossibility. The Council of Nine, if you know what that is, do not believe on anything as a group consciousness. They're all separate. So, people, I want to start with the simplest thing. Why would good aliens come here? To help us. All right? If that was true, there would be no words called abduction. All right? There would be no word experiences, no words, all those kind of words that you hear around that phrase would not exist. They'd land, say hello, we greet them, and we see what they can offer us. But they didn't offer us one thing in about, 30,000 years? I think that's hold on, let me just get a little bit better. That's a little scary. You think such good people that love us and want to help us didn't do one thing for us? Now, let me just say this, and I'll give it to Tina. We talk about Native people. You know what Native people are? People that live. Native people of the United States, all right? We had 50 million Native people 400 years ago. Now we have less than 1 million full-blood Native Americans. Guess what? They say they work with the good star beings, and they never did one thing positive for them. All right? Now, these people claim good aliens, want to believe in good aliens. Well, I wait to see the day they do one positive thing for the world. All right? I know people say they're working on this, that, and the other thing. Prove it. We're going to. Sorry about that. We're going
Our
to have.
Geiger counter's just arrived. Sorry.
Oh, really? Congratulations. That's so cool. So we'll talk about that in a little while, what she does with her little Geiger counter. My dog's going back and forth. Here's the thing, people. Good and bad is perception. All right. I mean, many people believe there's no such thing as bad. All right. That's their choice. But when you use the word, and I heard it used and abused by Whitney Schreiber. I've been trying to get in touch with him directly. I'd love to face him off on what he believes in. David Wilcock is another liar. Sorry, people. You can't teach things you don't know. You can't talk about things you don't know because you're not going to say anything positive or important about it. Tell me, people, if you're watching this video or send this link to somebody else that might want to watch it. If whoever sees this, please, my email is hawksblood1aol.com or Skype me on hawksblood11. I will debate anybody, including the president or the Pope or any of those people.
Tommy, I've got a question. I'm got a online meeting with Whitley Schreiber this week.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, it's 9 a.m. his time. I think it's 12 o'clock my time in the UK.
Can you get me into it?
Sorry?
Can you get me into it?
I can try and send you a link, but I had to get he sent me like this PIN number thing I've got to activate to get onto his Skype. So I don't know if I can share it with someone or if it allow more than one person on. But it's for a televised like thing on Skype.
We'll talk about that if we can, because I want to debate him. He put a book out on Jesus just recently. All right, and he rearranges the whole story the way he wants to. All right. When I talk about Jesus, people, when I do my show on spiritual truth, it is based on my awareness being with Jesus when he was alive. I know people don't believe in that. Do you believe in reincarnation? If you don't believe in that, obviously you won't believe in anything I say. But reincarnation is real, and they're starting to prove it more and more every day. And what's going to happen in the near future, people will be aware of their past lives and start worrying about the karma they created that they have to pay off. Now, you reincarnate because you have the word karma. Aliens are far away from being at the point where they could work off their karma and get into a higher world. They have to go into a human life form and then reincarnate maybe 1 or 2 times and then get to stay in the astral plane. All right? It's not like you're going to move into the soul plane or the higher realms easily. Based on their technology doesn't mean they're spiritual. Based on what they did with the United States proves they're not spiritual. So people, the United States, I feel, is very ignorant to what's happening. They're avoiding the situation. I don't know, Biden wants to tiptoe around the field and stuff, but it's not going to work. We're in the middle of a serious problem. People are dying because nobody's helping each other and nobody's supporting each other. If we work together as a group consciousness, we could stop a lot of things, including UN Agenda 21-30. But nobody even believes it or even knows what it is. So you can't stop something if you don't know what you're trying to stop. Aliens are part of it, people. Aliens have control over this world the same as Satan does. And the reason why I say that, look around. Ask these UFO people, what great things did they do for mankind in history? Going back 20, 30, 40,000 years. What good thing? They helped them build pyramids. What did they do, really? All right? All those races disappeared. So obviously they didn't help them too good. This is the most beautiful planet.
I think sorry to interrupt you, Tommy. Something but you said, just going to go back on it a bit about spiritual people and light people and that. A lot of Aboriginal and Indigenous people around the world had the power, or still have the power, had the knowledge of their literal verbal history, and all their warnings are about, and their teachings are about from people from above. So at some point they had contact with people from above who taught them things, but they're not necessarily good things because they all seem to be warnings. So that's a real interesting thing, but it does fit with everything I think you've just said.
Well, I want to go into that. You brought it up. I'm going to go into it just a little bit. Go back to the Egyptians, people. Look at their symbols, their drawings, and their artwork. What does it mean? They talk about reincarnation. Look at the way they try to reincarnate. Look what they do to their bodies. Look what they do to their skull, their brain. They break their jaws. They rip the brain out. And they're going to reincarnate into that body. They wrap them up and make sure they last forever. They have no clue. Aliens were playing with them. All right. Aliens know about reincarnation, but they didn't teach Egyptians the right techniques, the right formulas. Why do you think every pyramid's empty? Why do you think there's no people in these places they find? Why do you think all these places are gone?
I don't think the Egyptians. I don't think the pyramids were. I think they were like generators, or they were used for some other purpose or contact. They weren't used for tombs. They weren't used for tombs.
I'm not saying they were used for tombs, but they were built for a reason. And the United States, the people here believe they're so important. We don't need energy to talk to people in space. We can't talk to each other face to face. We need to talk to aliens out in far space. Really? You think you're going to get better spiritual awareness and help? Of course not. Most people believe aliens come here. If they come as a white robe and tall blue eyes, they think they're spiritual. The way you look doesn't make you spiritual either. Do I look spiritual? No. Do I want to look spiritual? No. I'm not spiritual. I'm living in hell. And when I leave, I don't come back. Then I could say I'm spiritual. All right, people. Now, we're going to go from ancient time to present time, but I want to stick with ancient times already. Go back as far as you want. If you believe Zechariah Sitchin's story of his translations about what's really going on, what happened about Enoch and all those beings that created mankind and created us. All right, you want to downplay God? You can. You could believe it all you want. But you think you're going to rise above that? What are you going to rise to? If you believe in those kind of things, like Enki and all his family and stuff like that, the father of Moses, really? Moses was the highest black magician. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just make a point there. So I like religious history, but I'm not a religious person. I like to question things and look at other reasons for things. But something you've just said, I've just lost what I was going to say then. Something you just said is, if people believe in all these ancient writings and all the stories, and these people, like you've said, like Enki and like Jesus and people like that, have all seen silver beings, things in the sky, and so these things that they're writing about contact and aliens and seeing things in the sky that weren't supposed to be there thousands of years ago. How do people explain that? And if they don't believe or can't believe in aliens today, then they're believing in books that write and have stories in about aliens or beings and flying things in the sky thousands of years ago. To me, it's a bit like having a pony and trap and having no pony. It seems a bit crazy to me. Tell me.
Well, people, somebody put in about Satan. Satan's not Lucifer, people. Lucifer's the fallen angel. He was the light of the high. He was the most highest of all the angels. So he didn't fall into planet Earth, which is the lowest you can go. All right. But he's not the one responsible for causing pain and suffering on this planet. Aliens and Satan are. Both of them trade for your soul so you don't ever leave this realm. Watch the movie Lucifer, the series. It wasn't Lucifer, it was Satan. But again, the idea that hell and what's in hell and how it is. All right, it's not like Dante's Inferno, where you get different initiations on how bad your sins were. But that's because you can't burn a soul. I went over that many times. Soul can't be hurt, burned, twisted, killed, or any of that. So the idea of different levels of pain and suffering for a soul is ridiculous. The worst suffering soul could go through is coming back to planet Earth. This is the only place you can feel pain, see things you feel that you love destroyed. And it's hell. I will tell you this. In the higher realms, this does not exist. None of the things you perceive, pain, suffering, and all those things, do not exist. Even on the astral plane, you can't cheat, steal, and rob from each other. You can try to throw pain and stuff at people, but you can't kill them or nothing. It's a totally different reality. It's better than here, but not that much better, really, because you're stuck there believing you're in a better state. And there is always a better state to move into. All right. Aliens can't get into that state because they have to reincarnate, have to come back into this world, have to go through the whole cycle and start learning what God is. And people, the truth is, if you don't know what God is, you will never get closer to it. And if you believe the Bible, and I'm not saying the Bible's truth or lies, I'll say it's about 80% lies, about 20% truth, if even that. All right. It has no clue in the Bible what Jesus was teaching. Why is that? Because nobody understood what Jesus was teaching. Now,
Can I just answer? Sorry, Tommy. I'm just going to answer John's question in the couple of questions there. So, what dimension did Tina go to? So, is that referring to abduction? Because I had a serious operation, and they had to revive me. And when you die, it's an experience you don't forget, and you're out of your body. You're not in your body. You don't know where you are. You have the most primeval fear that will ever cross your body. You don't feel nothing like that when you're human, when you're awake, when you're with your loved ones, when you're in a situation. You never feel anything like that. And then when you go into the light or you're pulled into the light, you're overcome with its utter peacefulness, like utter blissful peacefulness, and you're at peace, and it's like something I've never experienced before. And I can understand why people do their best to get back to that, because it's you don't experience things like that when you're alive in this realm or dimension we're in. But when they abduct you, they don't say signposted, Tina, we're going over to like 2 doors to the left, we're going to a different reality or dimension. They don't tell you that. They just take you. So I couldn't tell you where I went. I've seen things occasionally. One time I was on a ship or this bubble, and I was able to see like through, it looked like a window, but I could see outside of the ship. And I've seen things then, I presume to be space and other like planets and places. And they put me in a bubble, didn't take me in another dimension, maybe a different time. They have a different timeline. Whether that timeline is a different dimension, I don't know. I don't know enough about things like that. So I don't know, but their timeline spans millions of years. Whether that cycle is another dimension, I don't know. But I could just tell you what I've experienced or what I've seen. Sorry, Tommy, carry on.
No problem. I'm just trying to write a letter in there to answer his question. But when you talk about dimensions and all that, that's still this realm, people. It's not God's realm. It's not a spiritual realm. All right. If you see a person, you're not in the spiritual realm at all. You're no longer a being of body and hands and legs and feet and everything else. When you get into the higher realms, you no longer exist like that. You have astral bodies very much like this one, but not as solid. But your causal and etheric bodies are so different, and you're not male or female. So don't even think you're there when you go through these things like meeting with aliens in another place, in another world. That's all
Tommy,
part
can
of
I just answer that question? It's good that people question me. And I'm going to read the question. It says, Tina, perhaps you see the aliens as good guys, because if you got into a car crash and was unconscious and waked up at the hospital bed, the technology agreed to go.
Technically.
So what I'm saying is, they wouldn't need to save me. If they didn't abduct me and they didn't do things to me, they wouldn't need to put me back. They wouldn't need to give me clone blood. If they didn't abduct me, then they didn't do that. Then if they didn't intrude into my body and take things from me and cause me to bleed out or hemorrhage or what have you, then they wouldn't need to put that mistake right, would they? So if they wouldn't have taken me in the first place, there would have been no need for any of that. So that's unnecessarily harm, isn't it? That's the way I look at it anyway. I don't mean to be positive or negative, But when you're laid there against your will, unable to move, and you think you are going to die, is that real? Let me tell you, reflection on that is an eye opener for anybody. Sorry, Tommy, continue. Sorry.
All right. I did a UFO conference right next to Area 51. There was two big main speakers there with me. All right. One of them claimed to work with the Nordics. All right. Now, which is they're tall, white, blue eyes, and wear white robes and all that usually. All right. And I said, well, how do you know they helped you? Well, he said he was in a car crash and they pulled him out of the car crash. All right. Realize there's a first spiritual law that exists in the lower realms, and it's called the law of non-interference. If you didn't ask for his help, he has no right giving it to you. Second off, he worked with the Nordic, and I said to him, what else did they do for you? He said, many things. I said, name one other thing, and he couldn't. All right? You know, these people go on because something good happened. Well, a miracle just happened. God saved me. Really? You're just lucky the wind blew the wrong way or something happened and the tire went the wrong way. My partner was in a car and the tire came right through the window and smashed her. All right. Was she lucky? No. She's a Buddhist. She believes in Buddha and all those techniques. But you're not protected in the physical world, people. People don't understand that.
Sorry, Tommy, can I just answer the next question? Sorry.
Yeah.
So, am I sure the people that took me in the first place and not trying to, yeah. So you're generally interested. So, at least 3 occasions, 2 or 3 occasions, I was awake in my room when they come into your room, when they, you know, and when you are awake or you come round, it is generally the same type of beings. But in this occasion with the surgery, it's the one I know. I call him the one that knows me because I don't know a name. He's never given me a name. Not that I've been interested in a name. I'm not ignorant. He's never told me a name or don't remember a name. When you bond with one of these beings or you know one of these beings, it's like a scent in your head that you recognise. That's all I can say. But he was there, literally. He was there. I'm all right, looking over me. These 3 little ones, because it would seem to he was with 3. He's a taller. He was working with these 3 little jelly baby type ones that are a bit shorter, and they were this side, and they were all doing things. And so it was them. It was the jelly baby ones, the little white beings that took me. But the one that knows me has always been there. So it is the same group that's taken me that are performing these surgeries, if you like.
All right.
You mentioned Travis Walton. So I've met Travis Walton on 2 occasions. I've had my photograph taken with him and I've spoken with him. I believe Travis Walton, his story is true, but I believe Travis wasn't taken on, but I think they abducted or took Travis by accident. Either they took him because he was too close to the ship to stop harm being caused. Perhaps that's a positive thing. And they didn't know what to do with him, or they thought that they'd harmed him and then took him. I don't know, but I'm just judging from what Travis has explained and his experience to me. I think that's generally what happened, and they didn't know how to help him because obviously they didn't plan on taking him, or he wasn't on their radar. So I just think it was a general accident, a misfortune of mankind. So I think, Tommy's talked with Travis many times as well. So I think in that abduction case, they didn't know what to do with him. Normally, they must have a plan when they take people to put them back, because they have my address, because they take me, and I'm glad that they put me back. That's a positive thing. But that's what I can say about that. Sorry, continue. I'm going to read the next question. Sorry.
Like I said, I talked to Travis many times, and we were supposed to get together and all kinds of things. But he still has very little awareness of what really happened. All right, year after year, he adds to it. All right, he went through hypnosis a couple of times. He still doesn't know the real reason, like Tina said. Very few people know the reason why they're taken and brought back and why whatever happened. A lot of people don't come back because they're eaten and everything else. So, yeah, guess what? They're lucky to come back. All right? They're even more lucky to remember it. Many people were abducted and have no awareness of it, which is sad because it's part of their awareness that they should know everything that happened to you as soul. See, they're afraid of soul itself. And that's why they're trying to reprogram the bodies. I mean, it all started back in Atlantis. Right after they destroyed Atlantis, they started reprogramming the people. All right. I mean, Travis wants to do a new movie. He wants to redo the old one because it's so wrong, he said. So, we keep trying to rearrange things in our mind what really happened. And the more it changes, the less it's real. All right? Because when you have something solid, if you looked into Jesus's eyes, you would never forget that in the eternity of your soul. Never. So certain things don't change when it's true. When it becomes unaware, like, oh, I was sleeping and I was taken, how much do you think you really know? The subconscious is programmed with so many different things, and it's sifting through it, trying to put it together through the mind.
And
So it's separate.
that's another thing. That's the same thing. That's the same reflection on abduction. Tommy's hit the nail on the head there. Tommy said is true, because when you've been abducted and you are awake and you're with it and you're looking in the eyes of a being that looks startled because it's realised you're awake, and you can only judge it's a look of fear because you must have a look of horror in your eyes. And you don't never forget when you're that close to a being you've never seen before, looking back at you with that look in his eye. That's something that's sealed into your memory and you will never forget. Believe me. Sorry, Tommy.
Okay, Mr. Rabbit. Okay, what was the best thing they ever did? Or what was the good thing they ever did for you? Put it up in the chat room if you want. All right, because I said I work with a famous person. He was on TV doing a show with the hunter, the alien hunter, and I did the conference with him, and he went on about the Nordics and they help people and this that. I say, helping one person when a war is going on, you help one person in the war. How about helping the whole country? How about helping all the children? How about helping all the women? Oh, I help one person get out of a car. Really? Is that
What about all
important?
the
No.
animals?
Especially when they eat them, people. You could say what you want. They make people believe they're good. But they have never done anything for mankind to make us know that they're good, because they aren't. There's no race working with this planet actively that's a good race. I'm not saying there could be good ones out there somewhere in space, but they're not coming here. If you're a good being, do you step in hell? No, you don't. You say, I don't want to go there. I make sure I don't go there. All right? It's just the opposite. Oh, well, who do you think they put on these ships? All the loving people that are compassionate, loving, and spiritual beings on these ships that come to planet Earth. They pick people they need that have the programs that they want them to do when they get here. All right? Aliens have to abduct people. They have to take our animals. They have to take our water. And I filmed that. So yeah, they're not here for good reasons. I work with abductees, not Tina. I worked with abductees 40 years ago. Women that lost their children, things like that. That's good? Really? For who? For you, maybe, but not for the woman that lost a child. I mean, you want to know the truth, you either learn the truth and put it out there, or sit back and watch the lies go by, which I'm trying to do, but I can't stand to hear these people lie over and over and over again. Good aliens, please. I'll stand next to you and I'll talk to you. I don't care how bad you say you are, but if you say you're good, prove it. I already made a deal. I said, any alien, you want something from me, you've got to give me something back. And nobody did that seriously either, except maybe John Lennon. I didn't get to talk to him personally. He was given something from an alien race directly. All right? He didn't want it, and he hated aliens. He never talked about that publicly. I tried to get in touch with his wife. Oh no, but she won't get back to me either. But my brother's drummer was really good friends with John Lennon. He got John Lennon's ranch when John Lennon died. All right, he played a couple places with him as well. See, when I don't want to get into the music world, but in the beginning there was three famous drummers: Ginger Baker, Zook, and Buddy Rich or whatever. All right, they were considered the best drummers on the planet. Ginger Baker got into drugs and slowly got pulled out of the groups he was in. He was in the best groups at the time. But, people realize what's happening. There's a program going on which is destroying planet Earth. And even Putin said it about 4 or 5 months before he was elected. He said it to Trump. Trump heard it. I don't know if Trump heard it or not, because he put it on public TV. He wanted Trump to tell the truth about aliens, what we're doing with them. He wanted us to tell the truth. Now, I got something really important to tell you people. All right? I don't know if you know this, Tina. Did anybody out there watch the alien autopsy, not the alien autopsy, the alien interrogation on TV? All right? You know that's just a small part of the whole thing, right, people? They had a sense in 90% of it. They wouldn't let the United States hear it or people hear it. Well, I watched the whole video last week. What they did to that alien was horrible. They were shocking him and they were doing all kinds of things. If they didn't like his answer, they tortured him more. And he gave the prophecy that the world's going to be destroyed. He said that the alien, he couldn't help us. He said one person's going to be responsible for doing it. And they said, what's his name? Because we'll get him and kill him. He says, I can't do that. I can't change history. They cannot. All right? They can't, not from where they are. But they gave us technology to go back in time, which we tried to change history. And the government is responsible for what's happening to the planet right now. I'm going to go into it in great detail. But the truth is, all right, aliens have never been good. All right? He admitted a lot of things, this alien they were interrogating. All right? There's one person they had, Evie, which they thought was a really good alien. They had to kill him in the end. He was working with he was in control of all the alien grays that were here on this planet. Do you understand that, people? When they found out major things about him, they had to kill him. But then you need to listen to Phil Snyder's story. What happened there? They were not good aliens, people. And if a person has a weapon, makes them better than people that don't. Think about a policeman walking around with a gun. They think they have power over everybody. It becomes ego. Money becomes ego. What's happening to this planet? Ego and money. It's only based on money. Everything is based on money. We're not going to help freaking the country because they don't have money to give us. People attack people because they have nothing to give them. When China took over Tibet, I'm not going to say they were asking aliens, but they were asking for help. Nobody helped them. China destroyed 250 temples, killed hundreds and hundreds of lamas, raped the women, and did everything to the country, and then took it over. I mean, the Dalai Lama doesn't talk about that, does he? He can't go back there, or they will kill him instantly. Anybody who puts the Dalai Lama's picture up on a wall goes to jail. So, I mean, you talk about control. Why would China be so arrogant, or whatever word you want to use? What time will tell, because what's happening now is going to bring more things to create what's going to happen. Are the aliens around? They're around every single war. They could take those people. They could take those dead bodies. They could use everything that's happening. They're not stupid. I mean, we're the same with animals. But somebody says, well, I said, they're good. Look at the way they take cows and what they do to our animals on this planet. They're not good beings. And to say they're good, prove it. Prove and show what they can do for mankind and make it better. All right? We aren't living better. We have more fires. You think technology, especially alien races, couldn't put out a fire? They let a city burn. They let a whole piece of land burn up. And they can't stop it with their future technology? And we can't with our technology? What's wrong with that? They want to make they want to clone an animal and an alien to get an animal with an alien and an alien with a human. What do they want to make? Horrible creatures that won't be beneficial to the human race.
It wouldn't be the first time either. If you look at the Egyptians and their temples, they had like aphis balls with different heads on them, and like different statues, like human bodies with animal heads on them. So there's something to that.
Well, I met a race, and I hate to say it, somebody else did too, somebody really famous, the Mr. Esetti Ranch. Well, James Gillen. Well, he believes he works with this being that has a cat head. Well, I saw it. It came in my house. My friend and I chased it with a stick onto the ship, and the ship took off. Really? We were little. We weren't afraid of anything. But he says he works with that and everything. All his stuff comes from that. I think he calls him Percy or some name he gave him. But, people, good is in the eye of beholder. Somebody could give you a bomb and say, well, that's great. When Tesla gave the United States 50 major deadly weapons, that was a great thing. No, it wasn't. It was the most evil thing an alien race could do, is give us more weapons. Dangerous weapons that could destroy the planet. But see, again, their agenda. People, everything has an agenda. Every race has an agenda. Animals have their intuition agenda, which is programmed to be what they are and what they do.
Can I just answer the question, Tommy? So, there's a question about how about we help our own species? Well, many times I've said on here, just look at the earth now. They're on about racism, black and white. They're on about um, torturing people. We're on about war now. We are one species. We are male and female. We are human species. Now, if these aliens are coming to our planet, which they are, put yourself in their shoes. You come to a planet where either they've deliberately separated us as to like the Bible and things like that, um, or just take a look at it like just supposing you're an alien holiday maker. You come to Earth, you got destitution, you got prostitution, you've got disease, famine, war, people hurting each other, killing each other, burning forests, hurting animals, killing each other, blowing something up. There's not one day on any part of the earth that someone's not being killed, raped, tortured, buried, born. It's a horrendous bloody place to live. Now, would you want to go there voluntarily? Hell no. Would you want that species visiting your planet? No. Until there's a common denominator, until the mankind, can help each other, then we don't stand a chance. Never mind money and things like that. People's lives matter. We're not one set of life, human beings. We're striving left, right, and centre. We can't take care of our planet. We can't stop forest fires. We can't stop species from dying out. They're still hunting endangered species in this planet. And no, so we need to pull together as one before you start. If people were all this loving and light, there wouldn't be people out there poaching animals. But that's just my experience. Sorry, Tommy, continue.
No, people, greetings, everybody that just came in. Come on if you want. But here's the thing, people. I'm a realist. I'm going to tell you the truth. I know you can't accept it. Most people can't. Most people don't want the truth. The truth is, people, and you're going to really object to this, you're not here for anybody else. You're only here for yourself as soul. Soul wants to get back into the higher realms. It can't bring the planet with them. It can't bring 10 people with them. It can only go by itself. So you think it's here to save mankind, to teach mankind anything? No, mankind's not ready to learn the truth. All right? When they are, we can make this world better every which way, but we're not at that place. We haven't been at that place for a long time. If we give in to alien races right now, we'll lose even more chances of getting back to being at a bliss state. Aliens eat humans, people. So guess what? There'll never be peace. All right, now what, like Russia, what they're doing right now, all right? Killing people is not the answer for anything. Nobody has the right to kill another person for any reason. Any reason, people. That goes against the 10 Commandments, which people don't even believe in. Well, there's only 2 really important laws out of all the 10. Honor thy mother and father. No, that's not that important. Thou shalt not kill. That's the bottom line. When you do, you create karma. Karma keeps you here. Aliens kill people. So guess what? Their karma is growing and growing. It's not depleting. For them to even reincarnate into a human is a gift to them. I'm aware of all my lifetimes. And I hate to say I know most of what went down. And I don't even want to say it because I don't want to bring a flaw to it. I did something that very few souls do, and that's why I'm able to leave this world and not come back when I leave this time. All right, I could have left already. I wanted to finish up a few things right now, which I'm doing, and it's done. All right, there's a reason why you came here, people. Until you can experience it and know it in detail, will you ever leave? But if you're attached to this planet in any way, which I call a matrix, and the aliens are part of it, you'll never leave. You always think you could do better in the next lifetime. No, you can't. You can't do better than what and who you are right now. And that's the most important thing. Learn to do and be the person you're supposed to be. Christ consciousness, people, I would spit in anybody's face that said it to me that they were in it right now. I was with Jesus. If you know what Christ conscious is, it's not love and light, people. That's why I mentioned that in the beginning. You're not here to love everybody on the planet. You're not here to forgive everybody on the planet. It's not your place. All right? Everybody has a place. Until they realize what that place is, they'll never leave. As long as they keep creating ideas. Oh, we're going to make friends with aliens. Uh-oh. I hope she's okay. I hope everybody out there is okay. here she is. Okay.
Hello.
I was afraid that you were going to come back.
I saw it on TikTok and I thought, no. Just before we go, hopefully I've got signal long enough. Just as sorry to.
Okay, this is the cool part.
This is cool. So I'm not showing my hands very much. I've been painting and decorating today. Literally, I finished about 10 minutes before the show started. And a few weeks ago, look, this one's made in China. A few weeks ago, I broke my Geiger counter. I think it fell in something. Anyway, I ordered one and it came tonight just as the show started. You see me run off to answer the door before they went away. We've got a new Geiger counter, so that's the new back of it. It says made in China there. It's exactly the same as the one Tommy has now. I'm going to switch on. Please, I don't got dirty hands. It's black paint. It's black gloss paint. Right, so I've switched it on. The top one is electrical magnetic field, and the bottom one is micro Tesla. So you see the sign for it there. It's the Geiger counter. So Tommy has one. Mine doesn't go off near the TV screen or the computer screen because I have a smart computer and it doesn't emit radio waves or electrical magnetic waves or radiation. So I have one of these. Now, Tommy advised me to get one of these after I became ill and I showed signs of a bit of poisoning. But my dog was seriously ill for a while and his blood test showed that he had radiation in his blood and in bones and in his cells.
All right, so let me just.
Right, so mine is on, and there you can see it's on. Tommy, where's yours?
I don't know, but let me just say this: it's brand new, people. It's not a trick Geiger counter. Hold on, let me find mine.
Literally, I just unwrapped it from Amazon, guys. And there's the box it came in. So there's a new one. So if you guys want to order one, it came like that from Amazon. Literally, it just came. I ordered it the other day. Yeah, so that's it. So Tommy's going to find his. So while he's waiting, I'm just going to run it over my button. Where we go. We're off already. Oh, that's not good. Normally, sometimes it doesn't go off. I don't know if you can see that. You can see that it's gone down. So now, it's on my chest.
See that red light, people? That's a danger zone. She's radioactive.
There's 91 there. It's 59, 60. You can actually see this one a bit closer.
People, do you understand? This is impossible for that to happen, what's happening right now. All right, we proved it many times, every show we were doing until she broke us, that she's radioactive on and off in different parts of our body. Something that's basically impossible. I asked many scientists.
Jesus, that's 1.111, don't you? That is seriously.
That's bad.
Telling me. Oh my God.
I told you, people. I feel sorry for her in a lot of ways.
Nothing on my
radioactive.
hand.
She has the symptoms.
Sorry, I got paint.
She has symptoms of radioactive poisoning, which I don't. And my Geiger counter.
Check my belly.
I can't. Mine starts blinking from the top. And mine goes.
And that's electrical magnetic field. The bottom one's radiation. So.
But it's not good for you either. I'm not saying it's good. I mean, the top parts, the magnetic energy is bad for the human body as well. Which means I shouldn't be near my computer screen.
Oh my Lord.
But Tina's radioactive. She had
going up there at the bottom.
People, this isn't a joke. It's something incredibly different. And I basically tell her it's because the aliens are protecting her. She has all the symptoms, meaning, could I mention them all, Tina, or no?
Yeah, go for it.
She's losing her teeth. She's losing her hair. She's going unconscious, falling down. All right? It's not make-believe. All right? Her dog died, and basically they kind of said that the dog had radiation in its bones. All right? There's many things that are not normal in any way that makes it bad. I still say this. The aliens are helping keeping her alive. I mean, the U.S. government, if she was radioactive, wouldn't be able to do one thing for her, and she wouldn't. I mean, the way it is now, it's still there, and it's radiation doesn't disappear ever. Maybe in 150 years, maybe. Well, she's got a long wait for that to happen for it to disappear.
So, so John, my partner, yes, we had a joint abduction experience, and we have the medical paperwork for that. And we both had identical ulcers at the same depth within our body after that experience, because within a day or two we became ill, and within the following weeks we had deterioration in health very quickly, and we both had to go to hospital, and the same specialist saw us and gave us a printout, and we have the copies here, and it's been in my lectures and things like that. You can find them online. And yeah, so we both have internal damage at the same spot with the same ulcer as well, same type of ulcer. So you go figure that. And yeah, he does register on the Geiger counter as well. Unfortunately, sorry, Tommy.
No, no. I tell people about this. They say, "Oh, it's impossible." I said, "Watch my show." I mean, she didn't have her Geiger counter for a couple of weeks, but now she does. People, it's brand new. It's not a trick Geiger counter.
No,
Just
this is
took it
just
out
out
of
of
the
the box.
package. It just came in the mail. So it's not like she reprogrammed the Geiger counter to go off and all these fake things. I mean, a magician would do that, definitely. What's this? I mean, but
I'm
no,
worried though.
I worry about Tina more than anybody. I'm so close to her now. We've been doing the show a long time. Uh,
Mm.
and she has the effects of it, but she's not deteriorating rapidly. I mean, the movie Silkwood, I guess, was a movie about radiation poisoning. Sunny Cher was one of the girls. She's the one that came down with the radiation poisoning, and they because they all wear badges, and if the badge
Sorry,
changes a different
yeah.
color, they're getting exposed to
I have
radiation.
paint on my wrist. It's been on my body. I didn't put gloves on. I just finished glossing people. I've been painting. I booked a few days off work, needed a bit of time off, and I thought I'd paint my house. But I've used black paint. I've painted lines like black paint, like down my banisters and that. And it's gloss paint. It doesn't come off. And I finished painting about 10 minutes before the show, and I haven't had time to scrub it all off. So it's not come completely off. So yes, there is paint. And no, I'm not Madame Curie. I hope, but that's why I have paint on me. But before I go, my book. I've had some help with my book, getting it published and going through. It should be, hopefully, cross fingers, within the next 7 to 14 days, if less, hopefully. So, by the way, I have sent Tommy, if you want, I have sent Tommy some of these in the post, and I've signed one for Tommy. He should have it. I sent it about a week ago to Hawaii.
We're pretty slow. I didn't get it
Pretty
yet.
slow. So it takes about 2 weeks for stuff to get to Tommy when I send it to him. So I've got it with my scan code on the back, and I signed one. I dedicated it to Tommy, but I've also put a few more in there. If you're in the States or Hawaii or in that general region, if you email Tommy, if you send him the postage, he could send you some of these, or send one out to you, or copy it and send it out for free to you. I'll go and send some more stuff. I've got some NASA t-shirts and stuff like that I'm going to send Tommy. So just going to send them in the post. But if you guys would like one, and you're in this side of the hemisphere near England, I can post one out to you. If you message Tommy with your address, he'll pass it along to me, or you can Facebook me, message me, private message me your address. It's confidential, I won't share it with anybody, and I'll send you one of these out wherever you may be. Anything else, Tommy?
You leaving us, or are you going to stick around a few more minutes?
I'll stick around for a few more minutes.
All right. See, people, we met a long time ago. It was on a show, and I felt it was good to have her, and she agreed, and then it just worked out fine. I mean, we don't agree on, nobody agrees on everything, but I know she's not telling a lie. Anything she says, she's honest. I only deal with honest people, non-liars, non-storytellers. I'm bringing a person on. Hopefully, he didn't get back to me. He's going through a hard time, but he said he will come on when I tried to get him on today. But I'm going to try to get him on when Tina's on with us, so we can both be asking him questions and stuff. He's the one that discovered Area 51, people. Not anybody else in the UFO world. He actually went out there and filmed the ship coming in every It came in twice a month, a giant mothership. So people, he was put in jail. They tried killing him. They tried doing all kinds of things to him. The UFO people that tell the truth about government and things like that, they don't let speak. Now Tina, okay, she's talking about what happened to her. They don't care. Nobody believes her in their mind. But when it comes to like Fred Bell, who said he worked with Billy Myers aliens on the ship and everything, he built nuclear reactors. They killed him the day after he did the show with Jesse Ventura. All right. So people, if you're telling the truth about government, which I support the government, I mean, what can we do anyway? They're here to protect the rich millionaires. That's all they care about. They're the ones that pay them. That's the ones they care about. So, not the poor people, not us little people making a little bit of money here and there. Uh, they got underground cities for the rich people, not for us. Did anybody ask you if you wanted to go down an underground city? Anybody? Anybody? No. But I guarantee you, Oprah has one of the most beautiful places down there right now. Out of all the people that are down there, they don't stay down there. They're ready to go down there when what's going to happen real soon. Realize UN Agenda 21 was created in 1990 something. I'm not sure the exact date. All right. 193 countries agreed on it. All right. They built underground cities. They've been doing all this work for reasons, people. Government doesn't do things for no reason. They think about the future and realize their technology is 50 years more advanced than us. So when they got alien technology, imagine the aliens' technology, how much further back their knowledge was. So the technology we got from the aliens is outdated to the aliens that are using their knowledge right now. The ships, because we learned how to shoot down their ships. We learned how to kill them. You think the aliens are going to stay in the same place? It's like Russia and China. Let's get better weapons. Let's get better this. Let's do this. They don't stay in one spot. It seems like mankind is losing the idea of moving forward. Meaning the only way we can move forward is by accepting each other as a group consciousness. Not saying we're all one spiritual being, because that we are not. But to accept each other as people and as a human and respect each other, we could do incredible things. We would be so far advanced. Imagine that. Instead of making money on bombs and
It's
weapons.
called cooperation.
A simple word, right? Exactly. And we can't get there. It's sad. But Atlantis was the only time this planet has been in peace, people. The only time. And aliens came in and destroyed it. So look where we are now. What's happening today? Killing people is never the answer. It's not the right answer. When they killed all the native people, it wasn't the right answer. And what they still do to the native people is not right. So, sure, I'm not saying aliens can't be okay. They could live with us if they really wanted to, but they still need food. And if they think human food is the only thing, we're going against animal food. We're trying to create synthetic food to eat so that we don't have to slaughter animals every day. But animals will become extinct when they're no longer needed, and that's a fact. But if we wipe out the dolphins and whales, I guarantee the world will be destroyed not much later, if not much sooner.
We're heading that way pretty fast without anyone else's help.
Exactly. It's sad the direction we're going. Tina, is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to say anything about your other books, even?
No, because
Okay.
I had someone was selling my books in another country. I think it was Crete or something like that. But so I've had to stop my books for a while, but they're all being re-released and coming out very shortly.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to next week. I'm hoping my book might even be out by next week. If it is, Tommy, I'm going to send you a copy. I'm going to send you a shirt or two from NASA. I've got some shirts for you. So hopefully I can start sending you bits and pieces across to Hawaii. I'd send again my condolences to people that have lost people in the Ukraine and people that have passed away and in this crisis. Please, if you can help somebody, even if it's your neighbour, just help one person in the world. The place it will be, you'll feel better. The place will be a better world.
All right.
Get yourself a Geiger counter, people. If you get a Geiger counter, you can come on the show with me and Tommy and give it a go and see how you feel. I've got my Geiger counter back, so we'll be taking bits and pieces of that.
Right.
Look in the shows, look in the skies for the next week, see if I can see anything. Now there's lots of activity and people blowing each other up. It's not a good thing, but normally it invokes a lot of UFO activity. So but until next week, I'm going to say goodbye. And from here in England and Southampton, I'm going to say goodbye. Tommy, it's a pleasure as always. And thank you guys in the chat room. It's good to see you all. And thank you for coming on the show. Please email Tommy if you have a question or an answer, or if you would like to come on the show. And again, if you'd like one of my cards that I signed for you, Tommy has a few and I can send you some out. So until next week, Tommy, it's been great. Take care. Thank you very much, guys. I'll speak to you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you so much, Tina. All right, she's such a great person. Uh, the radioactive poisoning she's going through is pretty scary. I didn't even think she'd be around for a long time because her nails were falling off, her teeth are being falling out, her hair's falling out. I mean, and she's been falling down, hurting herself, and things like that. Uh, but no, she's still here, and I think she has a family on a ship. She'll get into all that in a book. So there's a reason they will keep her alive. Now, I'm not going to go into Travis Walton's story and other people because it's not as important. Seriously. All right. People say they do good things, they help them. All right. When they give you 10 gold bricks and go out and say build a temple or build something, let's see that happening. Anything close to being positive. I want to answer a few questions. All right. I mean, you fall in love and have a bond with people. All right. You will not come, if you're spiritual, become aware when you leave, you will not come back. All right. There's 5 things that keep soul here: lust, greed, anger, vanity, and attachment. Attachment meaning to family. All right. I mean, you know this story. What was it? I'm bad with words right. My mind's stuck right now. But even in the Bible, the story when he said, "Don't look back," and she turns around and looks back. All right. You have to be aware. Nobody's moving at the same pace as anybody else. Nobody will attain the same awareness as anybody else at any given time. All right. And here, when you have a family and you're in love with your family and you die, will you come back? If you come back, they won't know who you are when you come back, even if you're born in as one of the children of the family that you wanted to come back to. You're attached to something that doesn't exist anymore. All right. The love of a husband is not the love of a reincarnated person in a baby's body. All right. So movies don't get into in great detail about that. They always make it look good if it has to do with that kind of situation. But when you leave here, hopefully unfolded enough to realize what you are as soul. Realize this: you were reincarnated many, many, many times. You had many families. Do you care about any of the other families that you had? Of course not. You're attached to what you're in the moment. And they say live in the moment. Living in the moment means you don't know what you did in the past and you don't have any idea or care about what you're going to do in the future. You're living in a moment. No, the past and present and future are all equal. You have to know what you did in the past, otherwise you're not going to work up the karma that you have to pay or even know why you're doing it. Karma that you create and you know it, you can know and expect things that happen that pay it off. Whereas if you don't know it, you don't know why you're suffering, why this has happened, why that happened. Oh, I pray to God, I pray to Jesus, I pray to... No, it's not about protecting physical bodies. No, it never was. Jesus taught that, people. Nobody else in the whole history of the human race did. Going back to the Egyptians, the Mayans, and the Aztecs, they didn't. Hinduism, they were working with gods, little gods called deities. They were all considered gods. They weren't God. I work with them directly myself, and they never claimed to be God. They can't say that. No deity on the inner worlds, if you face them, can say they're God. They can say that they're everything you desire and search for, but they cannot say they're God. See, in the inner worlds, God is much more powerful and works with beings that are much more aware. We don't know right from left, so God doesn't care what we do here. I mean, he gave us the most beautiful place to live on, and we're destroying it every way. And you think aliens are helping us? What? Destroy it. The weapons they gave to the government are the most deadliest weapons here. How can people say aliens are good? They can't even befriend us and be friends with us for real. Hiding in the darkness, hiding underground, hiding is not spiritual. Walking your talk, living it, improving it, and showing it is being a spiritual person. How many people do that? Yeah, you can believe a lie and promote a lie like all these great speakers. I'll name a few. Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, Dalai Lama. All these people talk about things But they don't really talk about God. The person that wrote Conversation with God, I challenged him many times. I said, you think God talks to you? Really? And tells you love is so important? Really? Look at the world. Where's it taking effect? Where is it? John Lennon was the closest to bringing us to world peace, and he was killed by the government. Whether you know that or not, people. Oh, yeah, they picked a person, programmed him, and he killed him. They did the same thing with the person that killed Kennedy. All right, I'm not going to go into that. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is, where are you going in your reality, in your truth, in your life? Do you want to understand the truth, or do you want to live in a lie? Listen to every UFO speaker out there. All right, they're preaching and telling you and making you try to believe that aliens are good. Stephen Greer wants you to talk to aliens. Now, Caroline Corey wants you to believe that cloning and things like that are beneficial to the human race. All right, so I guess China will believe if they put wings on a human, we'll be better off. Well, you can get around better. I mean, what do you want to clone? What do you want to change? Thinking to be what? What do we need to think more of? How to build a better spaceship? Which is all the brainwash and programming we're being fed right now. Going to Mars is the only thing that's important. Saving the planet is much more important than going to Mars. Do you realize that, people? Why not? You live here. You should care about where you live. If you have children, what are you giving them? Nothing. And you want more children? People, until we get the world in a balanced state, you shouldn't be thinking about having children. They're going to suffer. You know, children are getting all the diseases elders get now? I guess you don't realize that. Parkinson's, dementia. Children are getting it in different ways now. Our food is contaminated and programmed. Our air is contaminated. Our water is contaminated. Chemtrails are sprayed over every single thing on the planet. Do you think aliens care? Of course not. Are they stopping it? No. They like radiation. They're radioactive, people. People don't talk about that either. You know that. Well, they are. Now, I can tell you, I'll go into a quick story. I was living on Long Island with a friend, and I want to promote her in a second, but an incredible woman who studied medicine, native medicine teachings as well as I did, and even a few years longer. All right. We had to stay at her friend's house. He was a millionaire. He designed all the houses on Long Island. When I got to his house, he had a steam room on every floor of his house. He had a swimming pool on the roof. It was an incredible house. But he had to leave to go to another country, and he wanted somebody to stay in the house, which we did. All right. There was some kind of creature underneath the house. I never found out what it was, but it lined up these animals in a row across the bottom of the house. And that was before I saw the Montauk, the Hershey monkey and all that. But they were all lined up on the floor. And they weren't eaten because the skeletons were perfectly in one piece. All right. So what the creature was doing, I don't know. I set traps under there to see if I could catch anything, because we always heard noises and stuff. But I mean, a fox skeleton, all of the animals in Long Island were different animals were lined up there. So I want to just say, when I was there, he told me the story when he came back, because I told him I'm into UFOs. Well, he has these glass windows that face the ocean. He said, well, let me tell you a story. He was with his girlfriend. They were making love. They were naked in front of the window. And they saw a ship crash into the ocean. They were both burnt. And this is real. This is a real story. He pulled out the document in the paper the next day. But what happened that night, he called the hospital up. He says, what do? We both got burnt. This is what they told him. The hospital told him. Take 3 aspirins and go to bed. If you call a hospital up and say you were burnt, they say come here right away, wouldn't they? Normally, they told him to tell them both to take a couple of aspirins, over 3 aspirins, and go to bed. They woke up the next morning, the burn was gone. How did a hospital know that? Why would they tell that to two people? See, there's a lot more going on at every level than we could ever imagine. All right. He showed me the newspaper article, ship crashes into ocean. That was on Long Island. Uh, never went any further than that, which they never do. All right. People, I'm here to bring the truth out. Not lies and more stories, not just attacking the government. What secret missions, what secret things they did. The past is the past. What about killing Jesus? Let's go back that far. How far back do you want to go? How about killing all the native people? Where do you want to go? Killing all the Jewish people? How far back do you want to go? How about living in a moment? You believe in forgiveness? Do you really? Forgiving who? For what? How about the sins that people committed as a group consciousness? Not a single rapist or murderer or nothing like that. I'm talking about a whole consciousness of a country. All right, aliens are here to help us? What? Please, people, wake up. The truth is out there. You need to find it and experience it and understand it. Only for your benefit, not for mine or anybody else's. I really don't care what you do, what I tell you. All I can do is put it out there. There's techniques, simple techniques, and you have to work with them constantly. And when you're ready, it will be given to you. If you realize your karma that you have to pay and realize that you worked it off or didn't work it off, it's beneficial to you. Because if you kill the person in your last life, you're not going to be able to leave this lifetime. Just so you know. But people don't want to believe in those words. They want to believe in peace, love. Love what? Love means one thing, people. Not how much you love your cat, your dog, or your wife. It's how much you love God. And you can't love something unless you know what it is. I can't talk like this when Tina's on. She doesn't feel the same because she was abducted. Nobody protected her. Nobody helped her. Nobody's helping her now. Why should she believe in anything? The knight in shining armor is going to come and save her from what? What she went through, what she's contaminated with, and what's going on? No. I don't blame her. I don't know. I went through abuse and all kind of major things when I was young, but I was lucky to make it through and be aware of other things greater because I worked with deities when I was little. So I can't get hurt on a spiritual or psychic level, which makes me fearful. I don't care if my body dies. Somebody said, well, what about your family? I love my partner. I've been with her almost 20 years now. I've tried to make the best I can and make sure that she has some money if I die tomorrow. I can't do anything more than that because if I die tomorrow, there's nothing else I could do. I can't help her walk around and do things like that no more. She'll come down and talk to her. Hey, I'm watching you. Really? You don't become an angel when you die. You don't become a god when you die, people. You're the same you. Your soul is you, what you are right now inside this body. Aliens are a little different. They don't have feelings, compassion, emotions that our body has. They can't understand that. Do they care about when they take you on a ship and play with your body and tear it apart, take things and stuff? No. If they're eating a person, you think they care about that person? People, when you talk about good beings and good aliens, oh, well, we've got interdimensional beings. Oh, really? Coming through the other dimension. So what? They're still in hell. Why aren't they leaving? I do other shows more. I don't talk about aliens much at all. I deal with more aspects of God and Jesus and truth on that level. I only do it a little bit when Tina leaves on this show. But if you want the truth, it's out there. And don't think by going to a UFO conference you're going to find it. If they brought an alien in and he says, well, I'm going to help you all, you're going to believe it, right? Really? Jesus came and helped people and they didn't believe him and he was a human being. Imagine this funny looking green guy or brown or white, pure white being come to you and say, I'm helping you. Okay, help me. Everybody's so desperate they'll grab onto anything that comes right now. If Superman came with a bat's head, they'd accept it. They'll accept anything that comes and says they're here to help. Words are just words, people. Prove it. How are you going to help us, people? What are you going to do for us? Stop the wars. first place. You know, it's not a country that's bad. It's the people that control it. The United States Constitution, which was swiped and half taken from the Native people, was rewritten to the point to make Native people, again, not part of it. But it was for rich people. Government is created for rich people. Do you understand that? It's not created for poor or middle class people. Until all Congress changes and you change the Constitution, change it. Now that is outdated. All people, all colors should be part of the Constitution. There's no Native people running for president or allowed to. There's no Native people left in Congress now, is there? What are we doing, people? Segregating. And we're not prejudiced? Oh, we have to respect black people more than anybody else. What about the red-skinned people? What about the Chinese, Japanese people coming into the United States? I'm not talking about British and English, because they're the ones that pretty much wiped out the United States. And why do you think Spanish is the second language? Because during the wars, it was the Spanish, British, and English. Okay, people, I hope you got something out of today. I don't want to go any further. But it's time to wake up, people. There's not much time. We're getting worse every single day. Yeah, people are just as ignorant. Reincarnating. If you don't take a step forward, you don't go forward. I say it's like a ladder. You either climb up or you climb down. You don't stay in the middle of a ladder. You try to get to the top or you try to get to the bottom. There's no reason to stay in the middle of a ladder. All right. I hope you got something. Peace, love, compassion, whatever you need in your life, find it. And make sure that it's right. I mean, we want a lot of things in life, and it's probably not what we deserve or desire. Truly. I mean, as soul. Mind is programmed. Its thoughts, its feelings, its thinking is programmed, people. All right. Till next time. Tuesday with Tina next week, and I will be doing another show within the next couple of days on more truth about spiritual truth, searching for truth, and things like that. So peace, love, compassion again. Till next time, you heard it here first. Send this link to anybody you know, please. I'm not trying to change the world, but I still would like my message to get out as much as it can. Till later.